Hello everyone, I'm Siddharth and I'm currently working as a data science and business analytics intern at the Sparks Foundation. This is the task 2 of my internship and the name of the task is prediction using unsupervised machine learning. The objective of this task is to predict the optimum number of clusters from the given iris dataset and represent it visually. And I've implemented this task using Python. But before diving into the code implementation, let me give you a quick insight about the dataset. This is the iris dataset that we are going to work on. As you can see here, there are 150 records of iris plants, and the first column represents the iris ID. The second column sepal length, then sepal width, petal length, petal width are the four independent variables that we are going to use in the unsupervised machine learning model to predict the number of clusters. And the last column is the species, which represents three varieties of iris species, namely the iris setosa, iris versicolor, and the iris virginica. Now let us see about the code implementation. As you can see here, first I have imported some Python libraries such as pandas, matplotlib for visualization purposes, and numpy. Next, I have imported the dataset using pandas method read CSV. And then I have created a variable x to assign the columns sepal length, sepal width, petal length, and petal width. And as you can see here, I printed the x to show you the four respective columns that I told. Here I have implemented two unsupervised machine learning models. The first one is the k-means clustering model, and the second one is the hierarchical clustering model. First, let us see about the k-means clustering model. Here I found the optimum number of clusters using the elbow method. As you can see here, after the third iteration, there is no significant decrease in the WCSS value as the number of clusters increase. So it is evident that the optimum number of clusters is 3, as that is where the elbow occurs. Next, I have trained the k-means model on the dataset with the number of clusters equal to 3. And you can see here we got the dependent variable y-means, and the y-means has 3 clusters which are 0, 1 and 2. And then I visualize the clusters using a scatter plot. As you can see here, the blue color represents the iris setosa, the green represents the iris versicolor, and the red color represents the iris virginica. And for this and for the visualization purpose, I have just used the sepal length and sepal width as in the x and y axis respectively. And these yellow color dots represent the centroids of each of these clusters. Now let us see about the hierarchical clustering model. Here I found out the optimum number of clusters using a dendrogram. And for this dendrogram, I have used the SciPy library. And the method I have used here is the word linkage method. As you can see here, when we draw a horizontal line that cuts through this longest vertical line, it cuts through only one more vertical line. Thus, the optimum number of clusters is 2 here. Next, I have trained the hierarchical clustering model on the data set. As you can see here, I have used agglomerative approach. So for that, I have imported the agglomerative clustering class from the scikit-learn library. And here also, I have used the word linkage method. And the dependent variable that we get after training the model is YHC, which contains two clusters 0 and 1. And I again visualize these clusters using a scatter plot. As you can see here, the blue color dots represent the iris setosa, while the red color dots represent both the iris versicolor and the iris virginica. After implementing both these k-means and hierarchical clustering models on the iris dataset, I would like to conclude that the optimum number of clusters is 3, because as you can see here, there are 3 clusters here which represent 3 different species as given in the dataset, while in the hierarchical clustering model we only see 2 sets of clusters. The first one is the iris setosa and the second one is the iris versicolor and the iris virginica species combined together. Thus it is evident that the k-means clustering model clusters the data set better than the hierarchical clustering model. So guys, thank you for watching this video, and I hope you guys would have found this video useful and informative about the unsupervised machine learning models. And if you have any feedback or suggestions, do tell in the comment section. Cheers.